This is a slideshow of the construction of the layout. The baseboard is small and portable, resting on a table when not in use. It is a 1220 by 606 by 6mm piece of MDF with 34 by 18mm battens, later extended with a piece of batten on each end to make it easier to arrange the scenery. The buildings are made from pictures of the real thing, photographed from as front on as possible, as shown. Getting the dimensions of the bridge to give proper clearance for the trains made it possible to estimate the size of buildings by their relationship to the bridge and the heights of doors. It was clear that the buildings would have to be compressed because of lack of space. Sketches on the board laid out the buildings and the bridge, and then track laying began. Pico set track for the first radius curves, and flexible track through the station and in the fiddle yard. Second radius points in the station, first radius elsewhere. The station points are worked mechanically by pull cords. Attention now turned to the bridge, a plywood base with printed outer. The original photographs needed a fair amount of work to arrive at the forms shown here, which then have to be printed to the exact size worked out in pixels per inch. They were first printed onto thin card, which was curved to shape, then an outer layer printed on 160 GSM plain paper glued on. More computer work gave the buildings as shown. After some preliminary prints to check dimensions, the platforms were constructed from a Metcalfe kit, which had plenty of surface left over to make the road later. The platform risers are covered with prints of the real thing, also showing the gap under the signal box, where the signal wires and point rodding emerge. The smaller buildings have a plywood structure, but the house and tea room are made of serial packet with the paper outer layer, again printed first onto the card and then onto paper. Before the platforms were finally fixed, the track was ballasted. Signals and platform lamps are ratio kits, but the signal arms are printed from photographs, and brass wire was used for the poles of the lamps, as the real ones have a circular cross-section. The signals don't work. The poles supporting the station name boards are pins. Small notices were also printed. Some are tiny, but still legible. The scenery depends very much on the road over the bridge, which climbs away to another village. Modelling some of the village will be too dominant, so the road was made narrower as it goes up, to give an impression of distance. Having decided on the road, the length and height of the back scene could be measured. A panorama photograph from the bridge was used, but first a tree had to be removed from the picture, a tricky bit of work on the computer. Two back scenes were printed, cutting one off at the level of the top of the hills except through the village, where the row of houses was left to form a low relief. Tunnel mouths were made from a photograph of Berwyn Tunnel taken from a train. With this first back scene in place, the hillsides were built up from serial packets, finally covering them with grass mat, powder scatter and lots of trees. To end, some slides of the finished model.